Alright guys, how you doing and welcome back to another video on the FPL Updates channel, where today we're going to be taking a look at your teams to celebrate the brilliant target we have reached of 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for all your support, and hopefully we can give you some tips and some opinion, which you don't have to take of course, but it's always good to get a second opinion on your team. Might spark some light bulbs in your noggin. So let's get on with it, and the first team we've got here is sent in by Peter Robert McCardle. Now, of course, the first thing I look at is if he got Figulian. Figulian at 5.5 million, absolutely phenomenal. I don't care where he is on the bench, in the team, that's a great shout for Figulian at 5.5. Interesting team here, two Everton defenders, Leighton Baines and John Stones. A little bit risky if Everton go pear-shaped defensively, you know, it might backfire. Is Wes Morgan still defensively going to be up to it? We're going to find out. Of course, he's the club captain, but on the opening week, I do expect them to get a clean sheet. That midfield looks absolutely brilliant. Cuadrado, though, question marks. Is he going to still be there when the season starts? But Captain Aguero, I don't think you can go wrong there. Thanks, Pete, for your tea. Next up, we've got the team sent in from Daddy Caras, Liverpool fan. I'm guessing. First of all, Daddy Caras, I think your goalkeeper in defence is pretty poor. Eric Peters, Georgie Amat, George Friend, Ben Foster. Not particularly world class, is it? I have to say, that defence is going to be a little bit of work. But the reason I see you've picked those players is so you can account for the likes of Lukaku, Ibrahimovic, Aguero, De Bruyne, Mkhitaryan. That's all well and good if they come up with the goods week in, week out. But if these guys are conceding at the back, it's going to cost you, mate. Especially as these guys are very susceptible to a cheeky red card. So that defence might need a bit of work, but attacking, very, very strong. Ryan Evans at FPL_Melon sent in his team, and I think it's an absolute beauty for Goody there, of course. Leighton Baines, very good choices. Cech and Valdez, two very strong goalkeepers. Mkhitaryan, very popular choice. Jordan Rhodes is a great shout. He's been scoring for fun in the Championship for ages, but can he handle it in the Premier League? And with Negredo there as well, are they going to play two up top? I think De Bruyne and Barkley are great shouts as well. Really good looking team, mate. Although I do think Diego Costa, is he going to be starting? Is he still going to be there? Let's find out. But Luke Shaw as well there. Good to see him back in action. That's a pretty decent side if you ask me. You can't really go wrong there. That's Sophia Pan in their team. And what is it with people picking Jakupovic? I know I picked him, but Jakupovic is just in literally everyone's team. Unbelievable, Jeff. Of all people, he's going to have like 60% selection percentage. Jakupovic, he never would have thought that in his entire life. Anyway, very good defence there. I think Luke Shaw, Carl Walker and Wes Morgan are three brilliant defenders to have. For the teams they play for, you've got full-backs and centre-backs, and you've got Eric Peters there on the bench as well. Midfield, Payet with the free kicks, very good. I don't think Willian's going to be as good under Conte as he was under Mourinho/Hiddink. I just think he was the best of a bad bunch. I would swap Willian for Cuadrado if Cuadrado stays at Chelsea. Dele Alli, is he going to be in the same form as he was? Let's find out, because of course he did get off to a slow start last season. Shane Long, great shout at home to Watford. We're going to find out if it's going to be him or Charlie Austin. I think Shane Long's a really good player on this game that's underused. Great to see there. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent side. Your bench is a bit poor though, so you may have to work out how to get it to be more of a squad than just 11 players, because these 11, to have them every week, it's going to be difficult to expect the top points. We've got a team here from Hassan Nation. I think Aguero captain's very good. Aguero, De Bruyne links looking very good indeed. You know, maybe there's the goals and assist links right there. Pay it with the free kicks, as I say. Andros Townsend at Crystal Palace. Let's hope he can be as good as he can, because Andros Townsend had question marks at Tottenham, couldn't get in that team, and when he was dropped, look how well they performed. Ashley Williams is a brilliant choice. Christian Fuchs there as well. Is he going to be as good? I'm not convinced with Eric Peters, I'm afraid. I don't think people are going to be expecting points from him. I think he's more of a cheap option. But again, that bench is not particularly strong. You know, Ben Watson, Paredes, you know, people are getting in these Watford players seemingly as cheap options. But at the end of the day, you're going to need 15 players for the season, and two Watford players that are not going to do that much. It could be a bit of a risk. I think up front, Ibra and Aguero is chunking up a lot of your budget, which is why maybe your bench is a little bit weaker. You may have to sacrifice one or find ways to sort that out. Let's have a look at Alex Chisum's team. Some interesting players here. I think Bellerin, Matip, Fernandes very good, although Bellerin and Matip playing against each other in the first week, as well as Ozil and Firmino in the midfield. Let's see how that goes. For Gulli, very good. Aguero captain, popular choice, as is Shane Long, it would seem. Bench, not bad. That's the sort of bench you want to have. That's an impressive bench. Mandanda, Callum Wilson, George Friend. That is a really good bench. And Jordan Ibe there as well. Probably not going to do that much in the opening game at home to Manchester United, but two Bournemouth players could be a risk, but I think in the squad it works. Really good team. Federico Fernandez, I'd get Ashley Williams instead if you could afford him. Now I've got Joe's here. John Terry, Eric Bailey, Papa Soiree, not bad. Joe Hart, question marks over him. City may sign a goalkeeper. He might not even be number one, but at home to Sunderland, it should be a safe bet. Andre Ayew, very good shout. Scored a lot of goals for Swansea last season. Surprised he's still a midfielder on this game. And then, speaking of midfielders on the game, Anthony Martial's been made one. And you've got Hazard and Punchin as well. Not convinced by Punchin, especially with Townsend coming into the side. Shane Long, as we know, and the boy Jakubovic is in pretty much everyone's team. Decent bench. Paredes, you know, might not even be a Watford come the start of the season, but I just think that team lacks a little bit of perhaps set-piece delivery. I know Hazard's there, but, you know, at the end of the day, these guys are all going to be goal scorers. They're all going to have to be in the front of the goal if you want them to score. You know, you've got Long, Aguero, Lukaku, Ayew, Martial. They're all pretty much going to have to be in front of the net if they're going to score a goal, really. They're not really long-range specialists, but that's what I think. Decent team nonetheless. Let's have a look at Matty's team. Robertson from Hull City's proving a popular choice. Not a bad side. De Bruyne, Firmino and Mark Noble. We do love a Mark Noble in there. Mark Noble, of course, penalties for West Ham. Always good to get a penalty taker involved. I like the choice of Olivier Giroud in there, but if Arsenal sign a striker, I'd get rid of him for whoever they sign. Bench, not bad. Ben Mee, we knew him a couple of years ago on FPL. Darren Fletcher seems to be a popular choice of West Brom, but I don't think Ben Watson's going to do anything once again. Decent side. We have a team here from Liam Greavves and John Terry again. I think that's a really good choice. Cesc Fabregas as well. Decent. And the Nathan Redmond Southampton geezer being overlooked by a lot. Not bad though this side. I like what I'm seeing. Up front, Aguero, Lukaku and Rondon. Lukaku needs to have a really good season because we saw at the end of last season he just completely dropped off at the Euros. Belgium were disappointing. I think that's a very solid midfield. Lots of different midfield players I think. You've got De Bruyne for the middle, Mkhitaryan down the wing, Fabregas sort of a bit more defensively and Redmond just pacing it. Really good side, I think. De Gea in goal. I don't think you're going to be going wrong much here. Interesting team here from FPL Pundit. He's gone with Iwobi, Gray, Wilson. These aren't proven Premier League players. I like checking the back three. Cresswell, of course, if he's injured, get rid of him. Mahrez, great shout. Arnautovic still is a midfielder, great shout. I think your team lacks experience with Iwobi, Gray and Wilson there. I think you're going to need some more experienced players, FPL Pundit. And last but not least, Amy Cuthbert's team. Let's have a look. Neil Taylor, very good Euros with Wales, actually scored a goal, which he doesn't usually do. Northern Ireland's McCauley did well too. John Stones, let's hope big things for him. I think Iwobi and Willian is not great, considering you got Cook as your fifth midfielder. Better midfielders needed there, I'm afraid. Like the guys up front. Vardy, Aguero. That's two players there, 10 million over. Plus you got De Bruyne. That's taking up a lot of your budget. You're relying a lot there on big players to deliver. And if they don't, you're in trouble. But thanks for watching this 1K special. I hope I can help you, of course. But of course, you could just ignore everything I say if you wanted to. But trying to help you out, guys. Let's get so excited for this game because I'm absolutely buzzing out my neck. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed the help of your team. Sorry we didn't get your team featured, but of course there were so many sent in. Thanks for watching and we'll see you later.